This is Ayurveda Health and Wellness Podcast, where you get to meet the best Ayurveda practitioners so that you can transform your life through Ayurvedic science. Hello and welcome once again to Ayurveda Health and Wellness Podcast with me, Hitesh Anand. Today we have Dr. Kanika Verma again with us, and today we are going to talk about vitiligo. And it should be an interesting conversation as Dr. Kanika Verma herself has gone through vitiligo. Suffered and then cured herself through Ayurveda. And I guess it must have been an interesting journey. So let's start the conversation. Hi, Kanika.
Hi, Hitesh.
So, Kanika, first of all, for our viewers and listeners, if you can just, explain a bit about what vitiligo is, and then we can go more deep into your experience with the same.
Yeah, vitiligo, according to modern science, it's a disorder which is basically autoimmune disorder. There are parallel diseases also, like liver spots. If you have some problem inside your liver, then you get these liver spots, but these liver spots are to a certain extent they're different from vitiligo. Vitiligo is an autoimmune disease where the immunity system of our body directs its attack towards the skin and starts killing melanocytes, which form the pigmentation in the skin. So that's vitiligo. It is also called leukoderma. So that is it. Ayurvedic explanation of vitiligo is very interesting. It says that someone who has done something wrong gets vitiligo. So you see, I could relate to it because when you do something wrong, you get a lot of stress. And stress, I have experienced it myself, that stress is one of the primary cause of this disorder. Even modern science agrees that stress can have severe impact on our immunity and can trigger autoimmune disorders or worsen autoimmune disorders.
Okay.
So, and I have been quite stressed since childhood. So, yes, I believe that stress is one of the main factors for vitiligo.
And so when did you develop vitiligo?
There have been episodes of developing and getting cured. So I developed vitiligo when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So I was in school. My father got he was a radiologist. So for his MD, for doing his post-graduation, he shifted to a city. Initially, he was in a village. And in village, I was in a village school and everything was like fun and no problems there. But then when I shifted to city, they got me admitted into a very, very fancy school. And it was a horrible experience for me because the teachers were very strict and I couldn't accommodate. So then I started developing these spots. I remember waking up at night and crying because I couldn't do my homework. So I was highly stressed. At that time, it was quite normal. I think the parents probably, they were not aware about children getting stressed. So, and at that time, one insect bit me. So insects keep biting this. It's quite normal for children or getting hurt. But when I got hurt, the skin will not recover, it will stay white. So that started happening. And then my parents, they were really worried and they tried allopathic treatment since I was a child. When you're a child, it's really easy to get cured.
Yeah.
So then I got cured. I think it took me quite a while, some 3-4 years, but after that I was completely relieved of all the symptoms. And unfortunately, my father shifted back to a small town, and I had a really great school where there was almost no studies. So I was happy again. So I think that there's a huge role of stress.
Okay, and eventually, after all this, I understand that it must be really hard to live with the fact, that you have this problem which is supposed to, sort of not curable, that's how people perceived it. And and then you think, like, I have like a whole life in front of me, and how will, yeah, of course that adds to the mental health issues. And you're already stressed, and then it adds to more stress, and it becomes vicious circle. So I mean, so how did you started how you treated the issue?
Yeah, I got cured, but I at that time I was stressed more because my parents were stressed. They saw me, and then you start thinking, oh my god, my daughter has this, so what will happen in future and blah blah. So I got stressed because they would push me to sit in sun. So I wasn't stressed about this vitiligo spots at that time. But again, there was a period when I left my job. I had my daughter. I left my job. I was in a very, very well-paying and nice job. Okay, and so I left my job. I wanted to be with my daughter, and there were lots of other reasons. And first 6 months were really fun, but after that, I was in a touring job. I used to travel a lot. I used to love traveling. But when you are there with a small child, and it's just like caught up. You cannot move, and people think that she's probably just having fun at home, which is not true. It is. It can be a horrible experience if your child is not sleeping. My daughter used to be a fuzzy eater, and she was underweight, and I was so stressed. One doctor told me that probably your child will go mentally retarded if she doesn't start eating. And at that time, I was really stressed. So stressed that I could feel smoke coming out of my breath. And at that point in time, I redeveloped this vitiligo.
Okay.
So, and at that time, I was so stressed that I didn't even care. I just stopped thinking about it. And I just let it grow. Whereas I knew the cure.
Okay.
And then it got big. And after that, I had to look at it. So, this is something which I would really like to share, because you see, most of the people, they think that vitiligo is incurable. Once you get it, it's really hard. So this is my journey of vitiligo. So this is on 2018. It's like 2nd of Feb. So I had big spots, huge spots, because I just didn't want to do anything at that time. Okay.
Is that your image?
Yeah, that's my photograph. I think you can make out that I was, I was eating a lot of sweets because I was stressed.
I just can't relate to this. I mean, it's really hard for me to even think. I thought like there's some other person.
Yeah, because I was really fat, and I was stressed. I used to eat a lot, and lots of other things, really.
And what time? When was this? Like, how old is this image?
This is 2018. This 2nd February. I think you can see it on your screen. Okay. So
yeah. Oh my God.
2nd February 2018. So this was the first pic this is the time I looked into treating it, because at that time I started working on online. I started doing online contracts, and when you start doing something, you really develop that confidence, because I was staying home, I wasn't doing anything, I felt worthless. And that was one thing. And besides there were certain other problems. So this is 2nd February 2018. I started my treatment. I clicked a photo. I went to my mother's home where I could be in the sunlight, because in Mumbai, I was in Mumbai, and you just don't get sunlight. There are buildings all over. So I think that's kind of unhealthy part of lifestyle which you have. So this is 8th of February. I started recording. Okay. Medicine I took, it is an Ayurvedic medicine, amazing medicine. Okay, this is on 24th. Within 1 month, I started. The results started coming.
Yeah, I can see, just for our listeners, I can see the mark obviously getting smaller, and then the pigmentation coming back, and that mark was quite big. That mark covered almost all part of your upper chest, and then now it has got almost become half with pigmentation coming back. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was just like 1 month treatment. Okay, then this is 9th of March, just exactly like 2 weeks from the previous picture, and it all got red. It used to itch a lot, but it was getting cured. So this is 15th of March, just like 9th, 6 days from 9th previous picture. So the treatment was so fast. The result was so fast that helped me regain a lot of confidence.
Sure, I'm sure.
22nd March, just this is 2 months time. Like I started on February 2nd, and this is 22nd March of the same year. This is 24th March. And then I continued the treatment. After that, I wasn't taking so many pictures because you are happy, and then okay, fine. I never thought I'll present it to anyone. But so this is 12th of May. It is almost gone.
That's
almost gone.
Yeah.
So this is almost gone, and then after that, I'll show you my thing. Is like right now. I have almost no spots here.
Yeah.
Except few tiny white things, because right now I'm not focused on treating them. After some time you get bored, and I feel that okay, fine, let everyone see I don't have any problem. So
that's great. I mean, that's good to know that you have confidence to not worry about the spots, but the way that has been treated is, and the speed at which that has been treated is really surprising to me, and shocking to me, like even this can be treated, because I've seen people with these marks all they carry them all their lives, and it just grows on their body. It's very rare to see something that big and then getting smaller. It happens the other way around. It just gets bigger and bigger.
See, I feel there are 2-3 things. One thing is like I grew up in a very healthy environment. The food was very good, especially when I was in village or in suburban areas. Most of the time, the food was very good there. I don't remember having pizza before I turned 26 years old.
Wow.
So, I was really fortunate. In fact, even after that, as I was still a student, I was doing my post-graduation, so we did not have money to go to McDonald's or something like that. So, actually, I started eating these things after I got married, because my husband is fond of it. So, that was and so I had very good lifestyle. We never used to fall sick. I don't remember having a fever or anything else. However, every person had their own way of expressing stress. My way of expressing stress is skin disorders. Other people, they might turn diabetic, they might turn hypertensive. So every person has a different way of expressing this stress, and I believe that most of the disorders that we have today are because of stress. I would like to mention one thing, is that after 2019, I was so relaxed that I actually stopped treating, because I had marks on my face also.
Okay.
So I did not take a picture of that. I developed those marks somewhere in 19. I don't know. Because something happened. So I developed those marks, and that they also got treated with the help of the medicine. But after that, after some few months, I stopped taking medicine, and I thought that let me experiment with other treatment mode, because I know one way of getting treated. Let me explore other ways. And other ways I tried were also remarkable. One thing which I tried, fasting. Oh my God, it has such good results. I'll show you one pic where I did not apply any medicine. and I did not, tried sitting in sun or anything, but still it got treated. This is the mark on my back. I think you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. This is the mark on my back, and it was not possible to sit in sun or apply a lot of medicine every time. So, and it was not visible, so I just let it be. This was in 2018, and in spite of not applying any medicine on it, it got treated by itself. It's small. Right now, this is the status. It's turned quite small. Okay, and this is the thing without applying the medicine.
Right.
So your body itself starts healing you once you are in that mode.
True.
So one way is medicine. Another way is let your body heal by eating healthy and detoxifying the body. Because after I got married and it's like there's a period of relaxation when you don't have kids, you don't have anything, you start eating crazy. So I think that deposited a lot of toxins in my body, and then a lot of diseases started flaring up, including these white spots. So there are ways that you can treat your vitiligo even without medicine, and that is through healing body. You see, there's another thing which happened to me is like we started treatment almost immediately, not almost immediately, yes, like within 6 months. So whenever you have vitiligo, you see vitiligo, if you start the treatment immediately, then it is really easy to cure. But because there are certain cases which are incurable, even according to Ayurveda, if you cross a certain stage, then vitiligo becomes incurable.
Okay. So that's, that was something I was going to ask, like, in vitiligo, like are all the vitiligo cases similar or same, or they are, different kind of vitiligo cases, and are all or some of them curable, or all of them are curable? How does that, pan out?
See, I believe it has a lot to do with the body type. For example, if a Vata person, Vata dominant body type is there, then the disease becomes a little difficult to cure. It's still curable if in the earlier stages, but it spreads really fast in Vata dominant people.
Okay.
In Kapha dominant, it is very easy to cure.
Okay.
In Pitta dominant also, it's kind of easy to cure because they have that heat inside their body. So the point is that in different body types, it might take different time and different duration. Also, there are specific parts of body where it becomes really difficult to cure. For example, I'll show you my hands. We can see these hands. Okay, this part contains a lot of blood vessels, a lot of bones and nerves and everything. Okay, so this part is a tricky part. So wherever you have huge bones and a lot of blood vessels and nervous tissues and everything, first of all, the medicine makes you itchy and you cannot apply a lot of it in those parts. Secondly, I've seen that it takes a long time to get treated. Sometimes they don't even respond. Like, for example, this I started curing at the same time, but this has not healed. The soft tissues, wherever there are soft tissues, they really responded very well. So this is another point, that even if your vitiligo is getting treated, there are some parts. For example, if you have vitiligo on your feet, I have vitiligo on my feet. It is taking really long time to get healed. So even if you're getting cured, there might be some parts which might not get cured, and your body type matters a lot. Besides, your food matters a lot. Level of your stress matters a lot. So when I started fasting, I got two benefits. My body was detoxing. At the same time, I felt relieved. When you're fasting, you really feel relieved. You really feel de-stressed. So these are huge benefits. And I would recommend fasting, especially if you cannot fast a lot. Start with food fasting. I started 2.5 years back. I started with fruit fasting. Then I have tried extensive fasting, dry fasting for 48 hours, no food, no water. Today I'm completely comfortable. No food, no water for 2 days. I'm like up and running. That's quite possible. So and people can stretch it to 5 days also. I've seen them. I've seen people doing it. And these people, their skin is beautiful, their body is beautiful, and they have beautiful mind. So there are many ways of curing vitiligo, but I would recommend fasting.
I also think there in at least in some part of India that I've seen, people think that vitiligo is even contagious, and and I'm pretty sure that's a misconception as well, because of the basic reason why vitiligo happens.
There is one reason behind this. In Ayurveda, there is a Kusht robe.
Right.
Kusht means it normally refers to leprosy.
Leprosy.
Okay. But Kusht means kutsit, something that makes your body ugly. So Kusht robe basically stands for a range of skin disorders which makes your body look ugly, because obviously if you have a skin disorder, your body starts looking ugly. So that is Kusht robe is basically the skin problems or skin disorders. It's a range of medicines. It's a range of diseases. But unfortunately, people relate it to leprosy.
Right.
In India, in the rural areas, they relate it to leprosy, and even in leprosy, you get some small spots.
Right.
So that is the problem. That is the myth. Yeah. Because of inability to understand the depth of Ayurveda, they have taken Kusht to be a synonymous term to leprosy, and that is why everyone who would get, and this is called Shwet Kusht. Shwet Kusht means Shwet means white, and Kusht means skin disorder. So this is white something skin disorder that causes the skin to become white, but it is not contagious. It is not leprosy.
Right.
See, so there's a confusion basically.
Yeah. And also, I mean, is there any particular habit that can lead you to, I mean, in terms of food habit or anything that can lead to the disease itself? Of course, it could be your immune system not working properly. That's of course one of the reasons. But then some daily habit in terms of food or your lifestyle that can lead to or cause this disease?
Yeah. So there are certain viruddhahar. If you have heard about this term, it means incompatible food combinations. If you mix two foods, for example, fish and milk. Fish and milk is supposed to cause vitiligo. So now we need to research on this. But according to Ayurveda, if you eat fish with milk or mixed with milk or something like that, that may cause vitiligo. Again, if you mix sour fruits with milk, like orange or lemon, and just drink the milk like that. Sometimes there's sour strawberries, and people have this strawberry milkshake. So that might also lead you to vitiligo. However, there are two factors. One thing is that you are doing something that may cause vitiligo, and second thing is actually getting vitiligo. These are two different things. So here, what happens? One thing, for example, if I eat milk and fish together, but my body is not susceptible to vitiligo, then I'll not get vitiligo.
Okay.
But in another condition, I am eating fish and milk together, and my body is susceptible to vitiligo, then I'll get vitiligo.
Okay.
These are two conditions. So if you fulfill both the conditions, then you'll get vitiligo. Otherwise, our body resistance is very good. And as I talked about stress, if your immune system is already against you, then it will find some way to destroy your body. I've seen, you see, it's very interesting. At the same time, I developed many autoimmune disorders. For example, rheumatoid arthritis. There were symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, alopecia, and so on and so forth. I developed a lot of things. Because when your immune system is against you, it starts killing all the cells. It will not focus only on skilled cells.
Right.
So they all come as a syndrome. And then I was fortunate to get rid of it, of all the disorders, even diabetes. So probably in some other episode we can discuss more about this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the important thing, because there's a lot of, I guess, misinformation about vitiligo, the causes, people not sure. I've even heard people, fish and milk, it's of course, that is something that I've heard earlier. Like here, there's a very common food, and which is, fish mixed with mayonnaise and tuna. Tuna mayo is kind of a very, very popular food, where the tuna fish is kind of mixed with the mayonnaise and is served as sandwiches. I'm not sure, if that is something that should be concerned. Like, it's kind of entire population have it. It is a very common food.
But I will tell you one thing. Mayonnaise, I think, also has eggs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, more combinations change the effect. This is another very interesting thing. You see, if you mix milk and ghee and honey in equal proportion, it is considered poisonous. But in Panchamrit, we add both ghee and honey. But there are 5 other things also. So they also produce that effect.
Right. Could be true. Yeah.
So if there is egg in mayonnaise and the other things, then we have to consider the whole thing.
Yeah.
So might not be. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But might be healthy. Might not.
Yeah,
be.
It is kind of considered to be very healthy food. To be honest, even it is a preferred diet for kids as well. Of course, it is definitely not causing any harm to wider population. That's why it's so prevalent for so many years. That's really great to know about so much about vitiligo and your journey with the vitiligo and living with the vitiligo and curing it through Ayurveda and and right mindset. Of course, that is something that is very important as always. This is really great. Now, I am really hopeful that people with vitiligo would listen to it and may benefit from this conversation as well. So, Kanika, thanks a lot for sharing your journey with vitiligo, and at the same time sharing so much great valuable information about vitiligo, and also telling us of the misconception that is all around vitiligo in our society. So thanks again, Kanika, for this episode, and let us join again with the next episode very soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kanika. Hope you enjoyed our podcast. Do not forget to follow us or subscribe. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Towels, bringing Ayurvedic dyeing to the modern world.